John chapter 6. After these things, Jesus went over the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias. And a great multitude followed him, because they saw his miracles, which he did on them that were diseased. And Jesus went up into a mountain, and there he sat with his disciples. And the Passover, the feast of the Jews, was nigh. When Jesus then lifted up his eyes, and saw a great company come unto him, he saith to Philip, Whence shall we buy bread, that these may eat? And this he said to prove him, for he himself knew what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 pennyworth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them may take a little. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, saith unto him, There is a lad here, which hath 5 barley loaves, and 2 small fishes, but what are they among so many? And Jesus said, Make the men sit down. Now there was much grass in the place, so the men sat down, in number about 5,000. And Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, he distributed to the disciples, and the disciples to them that were set down, and likewise of the fishes as much as they would. When they were filled, he said unto his disciples, Gather up the fragments that remain, that nothing be lost. Therefore they gathered them together, and filled 12 baskets with the fragments of the 5 barley loaves, which remained over and above unto them that had eaten. Then those men, when they had seen the miracle that Jesus did, said, This is of a truth that prophet that should come into the world. When Jesus therefore perceived that they would come and take him by force to make him a king, he departed again into a mountain himself alone. And when even was now come, his disciples went down into the sea, and entered into a ship, and went over the sea toward Capernaum. And it was now dark, and Jesus was not come to them. And the sea arose by reason of a great wind that blew. So when they had rowed about 25 or 30 furlongs, they see Jesus walking on the sea, and drawing nigh unto the ships, and they were afraid. But he saith unto them, It is I, be not afraid. Then they willingly received him into the ship, and immediately the ship was at the land whither they went. The day following, when the people which stood on the other side of the sea saw that there was none other boat there, save that one whereinto his disciples were entered, and that Jesus went not with his disciples into the boat, but that his disciples were gone away alone. Howbeit there came other boats from Tiberias nigh unto the place where they did eat bread, after that the Lord had given thanks. When the people therefore saw that Jesus was not there, neither his disciples, they also took shipping, and came to Capernaum, seeking for Jesus. And when they had found him on the other side of the sea, they said unto him, Rabbi, when camest thou hither? Jesus answered them and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves, and were filled. Labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you. For him hath God the Father sealed. Then said they unto him, What shall we do, that we might work the works of God? Jesus answered and said unto them, This is the work of God, that ye believe on him whom he hath sent. They said therefore unto him, What sign showest thou then, that we may see and believe thee? What dost thou work? Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, He gave them bread from heaven to eat. Then Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven, and giveth life unto the world. Then said they unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I say unto you, that ye also have seen me, and believe not. All that the Father giveth me shall come to me, and him that cometh to me I will in no wise cast out. For I came down from heaven, not to do mine own will, but the will of him that sent me. And this is the Father's will which hath sent me, that all of which he hath given me I should lose nothing, but should raise it up again at the last day. And this is the will of him that sent me, that every one which seeth the Son, and believeth on him, may have everlasting life, and I will raise him up at the last day.
Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahawashi, Yahawashi, Bashem Rakakudashe. Much mercy to you, sincere brothers out there. The true house of David, all you brothers that have been redeemed and that's understanding who you are and that can see what's really happening and that understand the Lord's doctrine. Because as I did the last lesson, going into the veil, which is remaining on certain of our people unto this day. And I want to read John 6, but I want to go right here in Hebrews real quick because it mentions the veil right here. And for these guys that can't see that, like the Lord said in John 6 right there, that Moses didn't give you the bread from heaven. So that means Moses ain't got nothing to do with this new covenant. So all you guys that are pushing Moses, you have never been in the spirit. You don't even you don't even know what the spirit is like. You're just teaching a bunch of shit with no understanding. So Moses didn't really give you that bread from heaven, which, yeah, you might have a bunch of knowledge and you might put a bunch of scriptures together, but the new covenant is a higher level of understanding, which if you guys are stuck on Moses, as the scriptures say in Galatians, you make Yahawashi of none effect unto you in this time. And so guys are teaching wrong. That's what's happening, and we're seeing it. And you're not supposed to mix the new with the old like how guys are doing it, like how they're doing it. They're doing it in a sense like you have to keep Moses and the new covenant. So guys are not in the spirit. They don't have an understanding at all. They don't. So I wanted to read a little bit of this and read through John 6. I got a couple of things I want to go over. This is the doctrine of the new covenant. If you want to understand how to teach the doctrine of the new covenant, study the Lord and go study the book of Acts and how Peter, Stephen, and Paul and them, how they were teaching. It is not how guys are teaching. Guys are mixing everything together. And the more, that's why Matthew 22, it says guys are going to go out into outer darkness. And you see how worse guys are becoming. You see how reprobate guys are becoming. Guys are blatantly teaching you the old law of Moses, which has been done away with through Yahawashi. So you make Yahawashi without none effect. So you're not of the elect. I don't care how much you guys tell yourself you're the elect. You're reprobates. You're false prophets in this day with no understanding, which are mixing the two garments together, which the Lord told you not to do that. And he also said you can't serve two masters. So that shows that you guys, you don't have an understanding. You were never a part of the new covenant. You were always carnal. This is Hebrews 10 and 16. It says, this is the covenant that I will make with them after those days. I will put my laws into their hearts, and in their minds I will write them, right? And the Lord is not talking about putting old laws in you. The whole thing about the elect being perfected, they're being perfected unto the way of Yahawashi, unto the way of the Lord's mind, not the old mind of Moses. That's another thing you guys just don't understand. You will never understand it either, because you guys are carnal and you guys are blaspheming and you're speaking against us brothers who you don't even really know like that. And that's why the scripture tell you in Revelations that there's no fall with them because they were redeemed. Certain of us have been redeemed and you guys haven't, because you don't have the understanding. You're just teaching a bunch of shit. And so our thing is what's happening. We're showing men how to see past teaching a bunch of bullshit. And I'm gonna say this to you, all you false prophets of the new and old covenant. It is not this is not going to turn out how you think it's going to turn out. So guys teaching these prophecies, you're teaching the prophecies without you actually understanding the new covenant, without you actually being of the elect. So these prophecies ain't going to profit you. It's not in your favor, because none of you guys never seen the teaching of the new covenant coming like this. You've never seen it coming. You thought the elders had the doctrine. You guys thought you had the doctrine. And then the guys of the new covenant who never taught the new covenant, they were all fucking reprobates following camps. They're reprobate. They are far from the understanding of the new covenant too, because the Lord has the veil over their ass. So these end time days, for you guys that think you're teaching prophecies, is not going to turn out how you think it is. Because a lot of you guys are fucking reprobates and you misrepresenting the new covenant, what the Lord came to do. That's what you're doing. I thought I'd just slip that in there because you got so many wise guys that got all this knowledge, but they have never been in the spirit. They are carnal. They are fleshly. They are sensual. They are presumptuous. They are natural men. A natural man is trying to teach a spiritual covenant, which these natural men are trying to bring you back to the bondage of the old fleshly covenant of Moses. Man, you guys are just, man, it's crazy. But it's beautiful because we show the difference over here. You see, we're not teaching for envy and strife. What we're doing is the same thing Paul had to do when he had to write letters when men were teaching false doctrine. As they were teaching false doctrine, you had Paul writing these letters back to the churches. So we're doing the same thing, giving you correct understanding that Moses had his glory already. Now that's been done away. And the only ones who can really understand that is us brothers that's really of God. The rest of you guys, you're going to wear old covenant garments and go to the street. Nobody listen to you on the fucking street, man. Nobody cares about what you guys are saying out there. Don't you get it? Nobody cares about what you guys are talking about on the street. And what we're teaching is only for the neos. And they're going to get to the videos that they need to get to and to repent. That's the power of what the Lord is doing in these times. That's why the Lord said in Matthew 7, matter of fact, I'm going to come back to Hebrews and I'm going to go back to John. Matthew 7. When the Lord says few, 2 or 3, few, that's what the Lord means. Matthew 7 and 14. Because straight, matter of fact, let's read this. Matthew 7 and 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. So everybody is adding the old law of Moses and with the scriptures. When that's the thing, if you're teaching the old law of Moses, that's the old law of Moses. But that old law of Moses don't have nothing to do with the new. The Lord said, I'll put my new laws in you. He didn't say I'll put the old laws in you. You guys are just, man, it's crazy, man. You guys are all mixed up, man. He said that old covenant, which they broke that old covenant. So guys are teaching a broken covenant because they're broken. You see what I'm saying? You're only going to line up with shit that you're like. So you're broken. You're really not of the elect. You're really not of God. And guys are mad at us because they covet what we're doing. We don't need to be seen to be effective. You got guys that always want to be seen, boy. I'm telling you, you guys that like to want to be seen, bro, you could see like you got an evil spirit troubling you motherfucking guys, bro. Like with Saul. His servant was like, hey man, evil spirit troubleth you. These evil spirits are troubling you guys, and we can see it, man. I don't know why you guys like being seen. Because you're of the world. That's your glory. The flesh, being seen. This is your reward to do your alms before men. That's why the Lord said in Matthew 6, which y'all don't understand, when you do this to be seen, you have your glory. So you don't have no glory in God. And plus, you make Yahawashi of none effect. I don't even think y'all understand that. When you put Moses in the new covenant, Moses don't have nothing to do with the glory of God. When the Lord said he come not to destroy the law, but to fulfill it, he's fulfilling what Moses told you what was going to happen. Moses told you that a prophet is coming. So the Lord is fulfilling that. It's not for you to bring Moses into the new covenant, man. You can't have two masters. You guys don't even understand that. So at this point, we barely even watch you guys. I'm at the point now, I don't even want to hear you fucking guys, because what you guys are teaching is straight up nonsense, and it's wrong, it's false doctrine. But we have to counter it because This is what the Lord set us up to do, to give you a clear understanding. And this understanding is only for the ones that are actually of God. We're not teaching you a broken law that was broken. We're not teaching you a law that's been put away. We're not teaching you a law that guys that are of the old law, they can't see through the veil of that old law. See, we're on the other side of that veil. All right, we're on the other side of the veil. This is a new living way. Only for certain spirits that have been perfected, complete spirit. Guys talking about they're complete. You're not complete because Moses was broken. Moses wasn't, that law of Moses was broken. That's put away. That's been disannulled. Go look up the word disannulled. Matthew 7:13, enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which going therein. So you got many guys in the new covenant. They're teaching Moses. They're holding the old. So many men in the new covenant, they're making Yahawashi without effect. All right. That's what they're doing because they're not of God. That's why I say this understanding is for higher minds of the redeemed. Certain of us been brought back to the Lord. So we have his understanding. You guys have Moses' understanding because you're still carnal. You can't see through the veil. We're on the other side of the veil. It says, because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. And few there be that find it. So few are going to be able to see through the veil. The rest of you guys are stuck on the other side with camps and everybody else because you were never a part of the election. That's why we depart guys and cut guys off. That's why the scriptures say, that's why the Lord say, if that right hand offend, he cut his ass off. And a lot of you guys are not of God, and we've been seeing that a long time ago, but we had mercy on guys. We've been seeing that guys wasn't right a long time ago. But we have hearts and shit. So the straight gate, that's the true way, few are going to find it. Now check this out. Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. So outwardly, they're going to have on the outward apparel, but inwardly, all these guys are fucking wolves. And what gives it away is that old covenant garment. It tells you that they're of the old. They don't have the new understanding. That old covenant garment, it gives guys right away. They're carnal right off back. So let's go back to Hebrews, and I want to go back to John. I got a couple things I want to share with you, brothers. Giving you this new covenant understanding, which only a few will find, which only a few will understand. So what was that? Hebrews 10, real quick. Because these guys, like I did that lesson the other day, the veil is over their ass. So if that veil is over you, you can't see this new covenant for really what it really is. Now anybody can read scriptures and shit and memorize scriptures. That's what guys are good at, just memorizing shit. But the part of your brain, the part of the spirit you don't have is understanding Yahawashi. Understanding that when you put Moses in the new covenant, you yourself is making Yahawashi without effect. So that means you're not in the spirit because you have two masters. You can't serve two masters. You see, and I get that again. It's like you guys don't, this level of understanding is not for all you, it's not for you guys, man. You guys are on a low level. You can't even see through the veil. Where it is, we're on the other side of the veil. Hebrews 10:16, this is the covenant that I will make with them after those days. I will put my laws into their hearts, and in their minds I will write them. Right, and this is the new laws, not no old covenant laws. He's not going to give you old carnal commandments to put in a new spiritual covenant. He's not going to put the old commandments in you. Now, by nature, by us being perfected, we know not the things to do, and the Spirit keeps us from the things that's going to destroy us by nature. The new covenant is about new laws, all right? You guys, man. You guys do these fucking hour and 30-minute videos trying to get you to believe in the broken old law of Moses. That means they don't even understand Moses, or they don't even understand Yahawashi. Guys are just teaching shit. Guys are showing that they're more in outer darkness, more and more and more in these last days. And that's what the Lord said. He said, guys that say they can see, they're going to be made more blind. And the Lord said, every guy that we're spotting that's not really of God, get him out of here, put his ass into outer darkness. That's what's happening. Guys, doctrine, they're just being more carnal and more carnal and more carnal. It's crazy. You guys are reprobates. I can't even watch you guys. You guys are worse than camps now. I can't even watch you guys' videos for more than like 30 seconds. I like skip through them motherfuckers, bro. I just skip through y'all videos. I do. Because you guys are becoming worse. You've totally lost what the new covenant is about. It is not about teaching the same shit that you came out of camps that you were learning in camps. This is totally different. And you guys teaching prophecies and the mark of the beast and that, you're teaching what camps are teaching. You don't have the understanding of the new covenant. You're worse than camps. Yahawashi wasn't teaching that shit you guys were teaching. Ain't nowhere in the Gospels where the Lord himself said Esau. Paul said Esau one time. Well, what's that, twice? And now, guys, all they do is teach Esau and the mark of the beast now, you know? And them prophecies are not going to profit you if you're not even of God, bro. The prophecies ain't going to go how you false prophets want them to go. It's not going to go how you think. Now, Hebrews 10 and 17, it says, in their iniquities, in their sins and iniquities, I will remember no more. Now where the remission of there is no more of sin, no more offering of sin. So we're covered in these days. How do you know we're covered? Because we have a certain type of understanding. All right. That's why the Lord said, I pray not to keep them out of the world, but keep them from the evil. That is the spirit keeping you out of certain things. You don't need that old Moses law so you can know what to do. You guys are, man. But just keep teaching, because what we're teaching is total opposite of you. It's opposite. And the brother read the other day that old covenant is opposition to the new. So you guys that are of the old, you're in opposition to us. And you may bring, you're mixing the two together. You're teaching everything and shit. It's crazy. With no understanding. With no understanding. We understand this thing way more than you guys. That's why it's funny, because by us really understanding, you guys really don't understand it, and you hate how we're teaching because we really have the understanding. We understand that you guys, Yahawashi has no effect unto you. It don't matter how much you say his name or how much you go to the street or what videos you do. You're not in the spirit. You're in the spirit of the world. You don't understand that Moses don't have nothing to do with this. Moses' laws were put away. Now, the truth of it is, yeah, you guys are still under the old law of Moses. You guys, not us. The elected and the ones that are chosen with understanding, we've been redeemed from that law. So we have liberty to put away that law, because it doesn't save you. It's not nothing of Moses is going to save you from salvation. So we have liberty to put that shit away. It's crazy, man. And Moses had his time. But what you guys are doing, you're making Yahawashi have none effect unto you. Unto you. It's like the whole thing is Yahawashi is over whatever Moses did now. Yahawashi has more glory. That is what you have to understand. That is what you're repenting to. And they're not repenting to Moses and holding Moses and the Lord's law. Go to Romans 8, man. That's the two laws right there. The administration of death, and then the new covenant is the teaching of life. Go study that. Well, you guys don't have no understanding, you see? So it's pointless. So these lessons are only for certain men. Now, Hebrews 10 and 19. Having therefore, brethren, boldness to enter into the holies of holies by the blood, into the holiest by the blood of Yahawashi Mashiach, by a new living way, by a new living way. So he's not putting old laws in you. Oh my goodness. So you guys have no understanding, which he have consecrated for us through the veil, that is to say, his flesh. So we can see through the veil. Like the brother said, you guys are on the other side of the veil. You can't even see through this veil where we're at. You're on the other side with the world and everything. We've made it through. You see? Let's read this again. By a new living way, which he have consecrated for us through the veil, that is to say, his flesh, right? So we can see through the veil, and we're through the veil. You guys are on the other side of the veil. Let's go back to John 6. John 6 is very heavy. Everything in the Gospels is heavy with understanding. So the Lord was doing these miracles, and he was healing guys, and he was giving men understanding. So through him giving men understanding and doing and giving miracles and showing that he had a following. But then you had the ones that were in the city, in the synagogues, and the churches. They hated what he was doing. That's just like now. All you guys are of the world, man. You're Moses' disciples. Guys never bring that out either. You see? You guys are Moses' disciples, bro. And you're mixing the two garments. You don't have no understanding. And guys are just, they're in the flesh, man. For real, for real. John 6 and 14, it says, then those men, when they had seen the miracles that Yahawashi did, said, this is the truth of that prophet that should come into the world. So they knew that Moses had spoke of a prophet in that old covenant. They knew that. And they was like, well, this is the man to come. And some men knew that. And a lot of guys didn't understand that. A lot of guys didn't know. They were cut off. But a lot of guys knew who the Lord was. Just like a lot of guys know who we are. And a lot of guys hate it, and a lot of guys love it. Certain guys love it. Certain people love it. A lot of guys hate it. It's a big division happening. Because the thing about this new covenant, it is something that you have to understand internally. It's not something for the world outwardly to be seen and be broadcast. This is something that they want to keep under wraps. So if you're of God, that's a secret. Because everybody wants to exploit it. You see what I'm saying? They want to exploit you. They want to be seen, and this. They want to interview you. They want to know this, and they want to like that worldly shit. That a lot of you guys are in the spirit of the world. That's why in this next verse, John 6 and 15. And when Yahawashi therefore perceived that they would come and take him by force to make him king, he departed into a mountain himself alone. Let's read this again, man. When Yahawashi therefore perceived that they would come and take him by force and make him a king, he departed again into a mountain himself alone. You see that? A lot of you guys are in the spirit of being seen. You want to be like, quote unquote, kings in this world. Like in this world, like we're truly kings from within, So we understand, like, this ain't our world to be seen, to be on no pedestals. This ain't our world for that. But we're kings. We come from the real bloodline, and this is who we're finding out. We're the bloodline of the Lord. Our bloodline goes back from the bloodline of David and Jesse and all them. We're finding out that we're actually of God. That's what we're finding out. But you guys that are not of God, you don't understand that this world is not a place for you to be seen and recognized and shit. That's why what did Paul say in 1 Corinthians 4? For things that are seen, they are temporal, but the things that are not seen, they are eternal. So we move around those lines, and we move like the spirit, where you could actually feel us, but then you don't see us. And that's how beautiful it is. So the Lord perceived that they was going to make him a king. What did he do? He got the hell out of there. He went to a mountain by himself alone. John 6 and 16. So this is a thing where you figure out that you're of God inwardly, and you lay low, and the Spirit deals with you and strengthens you on your own, by yourself. You're one-on-one with God. You're consecrated unto God. You're through the veil. Us being through the veil, on the other side, we see all you guys that can't see through the veil. And you hate us for that. So you don't have no understanding of the new covenant like that at all. Because you're stuck on the other side of the veil with Moses, which Moses told your ass to follow the Lord. So you guys are carnal, and this time you get your judgment, because when the Lord came in them times, you wanted to stone the Lord, and you was part of them that stoned the prophets. All you fucking guys, even guys in the new covenant, you guys are all carnal. We see you guys like Mr. Smith, like Neo seen Mr. Smith. Even though he was blind, he seen his ass through the Spirit. He said, "Hey, I see you." We see you guys, man. We want nothing to do with none of you guys, bro. Oh, it's crazy. John 6. And it's crazy. It's crazy. John 6 and 6. And when even was come now, his disciples went down unto the sea and entered into the ship and went over the sea toward Capernaum. And it was now dark, and Yahawashi was not come to them. And the sea arose by reason of great wind and blew. So when he had round about 25 or 30 furlongs, they see Yahawashi walking on the sea, drawing up into the sea, and they were afraid. But he saith unto them, "It is I, be not afraid." You see that? So Yahawashi was walking on the water. In other words, Yahawashi, they seen Yahawashi was walking in the Spirit. So he's walking on the water. Yahawashi was in the Spirit. They could see his disciples that the Lord allowed to see. They could see the Lord. And just like in this time, men can see that we're in the Spirit. So we're saying, hey, be not afraid of these guys. Be not afraid of none of the wiles and these winds of the devil. Don't be afraid of them winds of all these false prophets. Because they have no power. They're carnal, man. Their minds don't go as far where we're at. It is something different being on the other side of the veil. It is different. It hit different over here. And that's why guys hate us, because we're somewhere that their minds can't even fathom. So guys, if you really look at it, guys never really have faith. They never really believe. They don't have any fucking love. Because look how they're teaching. They're teaching the Bible without any discretion. They're teaching the Bible without any understanding, not having you understand that Moses had his own contract and the Lord has his own contract. Which they're both. Moses did have his time with God. But now this new contract of Yahawashi is 2 times harder than that old covenant. Maybe it's even 3 times harder, because it doesn't require you to nothing of the flesh for this covenant. It's all in the mind, and a lot of you guys are carnal, so you don't have nothing to do with this. Now, because you're carnal, you're trying to bring those carnal things into a spiritual covenant, which you don't have no place in. You see that? So we can see all you guys in the wedding just getting worse, because you're in outer darkness, because you have nothing to do with the Spirit. So this disciple seeing him walking on water, man. It's heavy, man.
I love this beat, Baki.
Check this out. Verse 6. Then they willingly received him into the ship, and immediately the ship was at the land whither they went. Right. So when they received Yahawashi, immediately it was at the land whither they went. So they got to where they was going because they willingly received the Lord. Let me read this back again. So you guys are not receiving the Lord. You're receiving Moses, because you don't really believe in the Lord like that. You see what I'm saying? It's heavy what's happening. John 6:21. There's certain things we have to bring out that guys would never even understand, because they don't have an understanding. Check this out. John 6:21. Then they willingly received him into the ship, and immediately the ship was at the land whither they went. See, immediately. You see that? Heavy, man. So you have to receive Yahawashi and his covenant. You're not in the spirit. The old covenant, the Holy Spirit is not in the old covenant. It's not. So all you guys, man, all you guys have never been in the spirit. You just have a curriculum, you have some scriptures, you have some prophecy, you have some news, you have some information. You see? Some of it's good info, it's a lot of info out there. But this understanding of the spirit is not been given unto you guys. You've been blocked from this understanding. And it's not, and you look at it too, it's not as if these elders actually had the understanding of New Covenant, because they didn't. They were given a camp doctrine from whoever they were giving it to. And it just so happens it involves the scriptures and certain things that, certain prophecies they may know. But the understanding of the New Covenant is way more heavier than the prophecies and the shit happening in the world. You're getting to understand God. So a lot of guys have not been set up to really understand God, because they're of the world, they're of the flesh, and their mind cannot this upgrade cannot, it doesn't it doesn't go with their mind. This is too much for them. So yeah, they could teach all these prophecies, but they're not in the spirit. They don't have understanding. Check this out. John 6:21, and they willingly received into the ship, and immediately the ship was at land whither they went. When they received the Lord, they got to where they were going. And a lot of you guys, you ain't going nowhere. Guys are going in circles. It's heavy, bro. Let's keep going. It says, the day following, when the people which stood on the other side of the sea saw that there was none other boat there, save that one whereunto his disciples were entered, and that Yahawashi went not with his disciples into the boat, but that his disciples were gone away alone. Howbeit there came other boats to Tiberias, nigh unto this place where they did eat bread, after that the Lord had given thanks. And when the people therefore saw that Yahawashi was not there, neither his disciples, they also took the shipping and came to Capernaum, seeking for Yahawashi. So what's happening? Certain men and spirits, they're seeking for Yahawashi. They're seeking for the answers right now. And the Lord is finding men. What's happening is certain men are getting this understanding. Just like Neo, he knew it was something else, took more to the matrix, and he found it. Matter of fact, the computer found him, which is actually beautiful. Now check this out. John 6:25. And when they had found him on the other side of the sea, they said unto him, Rabbi, when comest thou hither? Now check this out. Yahawashi answered and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, ye seek me not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. And this is when the Lord took the little bit of food they had and he multiplied it, and he was able to feed all them. That's what's happening. The understanding that we had is being multiplied. And a lot of brothers are helped multiplying it by their scriptures or their comments, and brothers doing, certain brothers doing their lessons and things like that. And it seems like what we have is so small, but it's actually being multiplied. And a lot of the elect are understanding it. Because what you have set up is men that are not of the elect. They're set up to bring confusion and act like they're teaching the Lord, but they're not really teaching the Lord. And so what you have is too, you have certain men that are they're not in this for the spiritual part and the miracles. They're in it for the carnal, to be seen, to wear garments, to be in the damn clique. That's why the Lord said, hey, the broad path is the way to destruction. This ain't about gathering together with a bunch of carnal motherfuckers, bro. It's heavy. John 6:26, Yahawashi answered him and said, verily, verily, I say unto you, you seek me not because of the miracles, but because ye did eat of the loaves and were filled. So it was something carnal. The reason why a lot of guys are teaching this truth is for something carnal, bro. It's not for Yahawashi. Like the brothers say, man, you guys don't even care about the Lord. You guys are teaching for some other fucking reason. And it's clear. It's not for the Lord. Because if it was for the Lord, you understand Moses ain't got nothing to do with it. Whoever set you guys up or you guys are reprobate, you're going to lose very bad in these last days. And you might not understand it, but you're going to understand when your ass get judged. And that judgment is going to be heavy. Guys be talking about heavy, heavy, heavy. That's heavy. Your judgment is going to be heavy because you don't have the doctrine of the new covenant. And you're teaching men to have two masters. You're teaching men to mix garments. And then you don't understand that. So you guys saying that you can see, really you're being made more blind because you don't have an understanding of the new covenant. It's crazy. John 6:27, labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for the meat which endureth unto everlasting life. Whoo! So that meat that perishes, the Lord is going to go into it. That meat that perishes is what? The old lamb, the sacrificial meats, the shit of this world, carnal shit. It says, which the Son of Man shall give you, for him have the God the Father sealed. Then said they unto him, what shall we do that we might work the works of God? What shall we do that we might work the works of God? And Yahawashi said unto them, this is the work of God, that you believe on him that he sent. This is the work of God, that you believe on whom he have sent. So the Lord was telling you have to believe on him. And they said, therefore unto him, what sign showest thou then, that we may see and believe thee? What doest thou work? Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it was written, he gave him the bread of heaven to eat. Now check this out. Then Yahawashi said unto him, verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father gives you the true bread from heaven. So Moses did not give you the true bread. So Moses don't have nothing to do with this. That's why the Lord said, labor not for that meat that's going to perish. That has to do with all the meat, all the carnal meat. And then he took it a step further and told you, look, Moses didn't give you that spiritual bread. That guys are looking for the carnal, but he's telling you, hey, Moses didn't give you that spiritual bread from heaven. It says, for the bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world. And then they said unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. Right. Give us this bread, not that old Moses bread. All right. It's crazy. And Yahawashi said unto them, I am the bread of life, and he cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I say unto you, ye shall also have seen me and believe not. But I say unto you that ye also have seen me and believe not. Right, a lot of guys really don't believe the Lord because they have to put Moses in there. So you make Yahawashi with none effect when you can't just believe in Yahawashi. The old covenant, believe it or not, has been disannulled. It has been put away. Done away. The Lord said, the scriptures say that the Lord had redeemed us from the curse of the law, Matter of fact, let's read that. I know you guys hate reading that. You hate reading that. Heavy, man. Galatians 3:13. The anointing had redeemed us from the curse of the law. The anointing has redeemed us from the curse of the law. Yahawashi had redeemed us from the curse of the law. Being made a curse for us, it is written, curse is everyone that hangeth from the tree. The Lord have redeemed us from the curse of the law, that the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles through Yahawashi Mashiach, that we might receive the promise of the Spirit through faith, not through Moses. So the Lord has redeemed us from the curse of the law. You see that? Crazy, bro. Crazy, man. Not after Moses. Moses, that old covenant, it don't have no spirit in it. So you guys teaching that you've never been in the spirit. You just got a bunch of information that you put together, but you don't have the spirit of the new covenant. It says, brethren, I speak after the manner of men, thought it to be but a man's covenant, yet if it be confirmed, no man disannulleth or addeth unto it. Now, to Abraham, his seed, where the promise is made, he saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is the anointed. Everything is went to Yahawashi, man. And this is, I say, that the covenant that was confirmed by God in the anointed, the law, which was 430 years after, cannot disannul that it should make the promise of none effect. For if the inheritance be of the law, it is no more of promise, but God gave it to Abraham by promise. Whew. So this ain't got nothing to do with the old law. That's why you guys bringing Yahawashi, you bringing Moses into it, you make Yahawashi of none effect. It says, for whereunto then serveth the law was added because of transgressions, until the seed should come to whom the promise was made. So yeah, the old covenant was good until the Lord came. So now this is a separation, and this new covenant is only for the redeemed. Now you guys that haven't been redeemed, yes, that old law of Moses is for you. I admit it. That old law of Moses is for you guys. Yeah, you guys are under that law, all right? But we're not under that law. We can see through the veil. You guys are still, the veil is still covering you fucking guys. And this is what the Lord did. So you're not of the elect. Now it says, wherefore then served the law, it was added because of transgressions till the seed should come to whom the promise was made, and it was ordained by angels in the hand of a mediator. Whew. Now the mediator is not a mediator of one, but God is one. Is the law then against the promise of God? God forbid. So the law, even in the law, it was telling you that when the Lord comes, you're going to have to follow him and let go of that old law. But a lot of you guys are of the old law. That is the whole mix up. And certain of us are of the new by nature. Certain of us were promised, like the brother was going into being perfected. Certain of us were perfected to understand God. And a lot of you guys have not been perfected. You understand Moses. You're still of Moses. So yes, you guys are still in the old covenant. And you show us, yeah, we see it. Yeah, we see you're still in the old covenant. We see you're still of Moses. We see it. We get it. But we're not under that. We've been redeemed. A lot of you guys are still carnal. All right? We get it. Galatians 3:21. For if it had been a law given to which could could have given life, verily the righteousness should have been by the law. But the scriptures had concluded all under sin, but the promise by the faith of Yahawashi Mashiach might be given to them that believe. And a lot of guys try to tell you it ain't about believing. It's about doing this. No, certain men were just wired to believe in the Lord and to be of God, man. So you guys are teaching things they don't understand because they don't believe. Yes, you guys are of the old covenant, not us. All right? Let's just get that straight. Certain of us walk with the Lord. Certain of us believe in the Lord. Certain of us died for the Lord in our past life. Not you guys. You guys are Moses' disciples, like the Lord said. Bring that out. Break that down. Who's Moses' disciples? Who are Moses' disciples? You guys, man. You're not Yahawashi's disciples. You make Yahawashi none effect. You're not in the spirit of the new covenant. You're not. You guys are in the spirit of the old Mosaic law. It's in your spirit to be of the Mosaic law. And you're trying to make the elect think that they have to honor Moses' law. The ones that have been redeemed, let's read that again. Galatians 3:13. And the anointed have redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. It is written, curses everyone that hangeth on a tree. So Yahawashi have redeemed us from that curse. Galatians 3:22. But the scripture have concluded all under sin, that the promise of the faith is that the promise by the faith of Yahawashi Mashiach might be given to them that believe. Right. So this is only given to a few of us that can see through the veil. It says, but before faith came, we were under and kept under the law, shut up unto the faith which should afterwards be revealed. So before the Lord came, we were under that law. But when the Lord came, certain of us been freed to that law. That's why the Lord said, I pray for them, I pray not for the world. And they said, a remnant shall only return. Matter of fact, let's read that real quick. Right, so everybody's showing who they are through their doctrine, man. It's crazy. So what's this? Isaiah 10:21. It says, the remnant shall return, even a remnant of Jacob unto the mighty power. So only a remnant shall return. And that was Yahawashi. When Yahawashi came, that was the end of the law. That's what it tells you in Romans. Yahawashi came, and that is the end. Yahawashi is the end of the law. So you guys are of Moses. All right? The fucking 2/3 of our people, you guys are of that old Moses. Yeah, you're still under Moses. Okay, we get it. Yes, you're in Moses. You guys are. Right, so that's you guys' law. The carnal law. All right? Isaiah 10:22, for through thy people Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, yet a remnant of them shall return. The consumption decree shall overflow with righteousness. That's right. And that's why the Lord, he didn't come to write old laws in you. He came to write the new laws in you. I will make a new covenant, not as the old was the old they break. So a lot of you guys are of the old because you're broken. So you have to keep the old. Crazy, man. Let's go back to this real quick, then I'm gonna go back. So this understanding is not for the majority of people. Now it says Galatians 3:23, but before faith came, we were kept under the law, shut up unto the faith which should afterwards be revealed. Wherefore the law was our schoolmaster to bring us unto the anointed, that we might be justified by faith. Right, so we're justified through faith, through believing. Certain men are. Certain men have works. Certain men just are going to believe. But after the faith is come, we are no longer under the schoolmaster. We are no longer under the schoolmaster. For ye are all the children of God by faith in Yahawashi Mashiach. For many of you as have been baptized unto Christ, have put on the anointed. For certain of us that have been redeemed, we're not under the schoolmaster. So you guys that are still under the schoolmaster, we see you. You might know of Yahawashi, but you're not of Yahawashi. You're Moses' disciples. You're still under the schoolmaster. You can't be under the schoolmaster and be in Yahawashi. That's being double-minded, man. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You can't have two masters, man. Now check this out. Galatians 5:1. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith the anointed have made us free, and be not entangled again into the yoke of bondage. That is the old law. Now this word liberty, real quick. This word liberty speaks volumes. I think the brother sent me this the other day. But this word liberty speaks volumes because it's not talking about everybody has liberty to discontinue that old law. See, certain of us have liberty to discontinue that old law. A lot of you guys don't have liberty to discontinue it. It's not in your spirit to discontinue the old law because you're of it. So you're broken just like the old law is broken. We're not broken. We have liberty. And so the Lord is telling, Paul is telling the elect, don't let nobody bring you back to the bondage of the old law because they're of the old law. That's what Acts 15 is about. Men were trying to take you back to the old law. Just like these camps. You see the many that are desolate are guys that are keeping you in the old law. Can you see what's going on? Now, Galatians 5:1, that word liberty, in Galatians 5:1.
Strong's G 1657. Eleutheria. Eleutheria.
Right, so that word liberty, it says to do or omit things having no relationship to salvation. Bam. It says license, liberty to do as one pleases, true liberty as living as we should, but not as we please. You see, so living in the way where you should live, not the way as you want. All you guys are fucking carnal, man. You're carnal. You, like the brother said, you guys are worried about women and you're not even in the spirit. So you're not a man of the Lord in this time. You guys are fucking carnal. So we have liberty to omit things having no relationship to salvation. So what has no relationship to salvation? Those old carnal Passovers. The old law of Moses, which has been broken, done away with, has been disannulled, it's been put away. Holding those old Day of Atonements and those dates, they do not have no relationship to salvation. There's only salvation through Yahawashi and the righteousness of Yahawashi, your garments. It says liberty, chiefly moral or ceremonial. So guys that are under the old Mosaic yoke, they don't have liberty over the old laws. Okay, this is a misunderstanding. So we're not like you guys. You guys, your law is Moses. Okay, you're under Moses. You guys, but the elect are not under Moses. The elect have nothing to do with the old law of Moses. All right. Let me read this again. It says liberty to do or omit having no relationship to salvation. So the old law of Moses, you cannot be saved through the old law of Moses. There is no spirit in the old law of Moses. So therefore, as we read, Galatians 5:4, Christ, Yahawashi, is become none effect unto you, whosoever you are justified by the law. None of these guys have never been in the spirit. Now, was the Lord using them for a certain period of time? Yeah, but they're not in the spirit of the Lord. They haven't been in the spirit. The spirit has only been in the new covenant. And you're not in the new covenant if you're waiting on a new body. You're not in the new covenant spirit if you're putting Moses in it. You're not in the right spirit. You're all mixed up. Let's read this real quick. So that word liberty, it goes into being free to omit things that don't have nothing to do with salvation. In the old law of Moses, it don't have nothing to do with salvation. So God's having you keep that. They're having you keep a broken law because their ass is broken. And we're going to continue to break you motherfuckers of that old law until the Lord end this thing and the elect wake up. And that's what's happening. That's why guys hate us. That's why the Lord said you'll be hated of all men, because you're going to be breaking their ass with the spirit of the new covenant, which is a plague unto all you motherfuckers that are of the old law of Moses. Yes, we get it. Yes, you're of the old law of Moses, so you have to keep that. But that old law of Moses don't have shit to do with us over here. So let me grab this other scripture, man. It's crazy. It is very crazy. Romans 10:4. For the anointing is the end of the law for righteousness to everyone that believeth. That's right, man. So when the Lord came, we're no longer under the schoolmaster. You see? Let me jump down here. It says, Romans 10:8, but what saith? The word is nigh to thee, even in thy mouth and in thy heart. That is the word of faith which we preach. The word of faith which we preach. The word of faith. The old law of Moses didn't have no faith in it. So you guys teaching Moses, you don't have any faith. Teaching prophecies in the mark of the beast like these camps. And none of these prophecies are going to go how you want it. Nothing is going to go how you guys think it's going to go. Because you don't have no understanding. You've never been in the spirit. And you got all this information, but you don't have no understanding of the new covenant. Because the Lord put the veil over your fucking eye. The old law of Moses is not of faith, all right? Oh, my goodness. So, yes, you're under that old law. You're trapped in that old law. It's a heavy yoke that you guys are trapped under that old shit, which don't have nothing to do with the new. Reprobate shit. Romans 10:9, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth the Lord Yahawashi Mashiach, and thou shalt believe in thine heart that God hath raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved. So you just have to believe in the Lord. For with thine heart, man, believing unto righteousness, and with thy mouth is confession is made to salvation. So what are guys confessing out of their mouth? That you have to keep the old law of Moses with the new. That's not what the scriptures is saying, man. Let's read this, man. Matthew 6. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. That's why we have to cut guys off, man. Because guys are evil. Their eyes, they don't have the same understanding we have. So we have to cut guys off that don't have understanding, that are of that old law. We're not of the old law, man. We're of the spirit. That's why you guys hate us so much, because you're not of the spirit. We're not the same. It's crazy. Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters. There you go. Moses was a lawgiver, and the Lord is a lawgiver now. If you are still in that old mind frame of keeping Moses, you're in the flesh, man. And you're carnal. There's no salvation for you in these times. But if you're of Yahawashi, then you are in the spirit. You believe in his covenant, that his covenant is more glorious than Moses. And you're making it known that they're not the same. You guys putting everything together, man. You're a bunch of fucking reprobates. I mean, you never understood Yahawashi. Matthew 6, you were part of them that were actually against the Lord. Matthew 6:24, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other. So a lot of you guys really despise the new covenant. You're double-minded, trying to hold the old and the new together. The old has been put away, disannulled. All right, where's that at, man? Oh my goodness, man. But like I say, what we're doing is the same thing Paul was doing. By us doing these videos, it's like we're writing letters to different churches and different men and a few believers out there, making you understand that Yahawashi is the one that you have to believe in, not Moses. So you can honestly believe in Yahawashi without believing in Moses. Truly. Moses don't have shit to do with this. And then if you add Moses in there like everybody's doing, what that's doing, what they don't understand what that's doing was that was set up by Esau and the powers that be. By you putting Moses in there, you're making men not being in the spirit because they're hooked on Moses. And because guys are hooked on Moses, they're the desolate that don't have a husband. So they're hooked on Moses. You see how that goes? And this is who the Lord, this is who Esau sets up in this world, and he gives them all the views and shit. He gives them all the likes. He gives them all the women or whatever the fuck they want because they're the desolate. So Esau is promoting the desolate, giving them all the views and shit, all the reprobate shit, because they're of the old law of Moses. But us, on the other hand, look at us. We get all the hate because the spirit that we're in is against that old law of Moses, and it's against the world, which that's a carnal spirit. All you guys in the new covenant, you're carnal as hell with them old covenant garments. These guys got these pictures of these fucking black fucking dudes and they fucking, it's crazy. Who the fuck are these black dudes in y'all pictures? Who the fuck are these guys, man? Who the hell is these guys, these black dudes you guys got up in these fucking pictures, man? Is that supposed to be the Lord? You guys are idol worshipers and shit, man. You need a king. You need to see somebody. You see? That's why, like, we don't put no fucking pictures of nobody or none of that shit because you guys need somebody to worship, man. It's crazy. You guys are still in the spirit of worshiping golden calves because you're of the old. Yeah, we get it. Yes, you guys go follow Moses. You're of that shit. You don't have nothing to do with Yahawashi, man. Hebrews 7:16, who was made not after the law of a carnal commandment, but after the promise of an endless life. So Yahawashi, with Yahawashi is it is eternal life. Heavy, man. It says, for he testifies that thou art a priest after the order of Melchizedek. And then you got this guy using this man's name, and he's keeping you in the old law of Moses. This shit's crazy. So guys don't even know what the fuck they're talking about, man. All you reprobate guys, hell yeah, we cut guys off, man. That's what the Lord said. If thou offend thee, cut his ass off. Cut your arm off. If thou offend thee, pluck him out of there. Get him out of there. Cast them out in the outer darkness. They don't belong in the new covenant. That's what we're showing you. All you fucking guys. We've had to cut off a lot of fucking guys because we really figured out that guys are carnal. And you see them. Guys are more reprobate than I could ever imagine in this last day. The new covenant has nothing to do with Moses, man. Yes, you guys are of Moses. We get that. All right? You're disciples of Moses. We understand that. This new covenant has nothing to do with Moses. Guys call himself Melchizedek and keeping you in the old law of Moses. This shit crazy. Hebrews 7:18. Now check this out. For there is verily a disannulling of the commandment before for the weakness of the unprofitableness thereof. For there is verily a disannulling of the commandment going before the weakness and the unprofitableness thereof. The old covenant was unprofitable. It's unprofitable now. That old law is not going to save you. So we have liberty to omit that we have liberty to omit that old covenant. You motherfuckers don't understand that. And I'm just like, that's for real. I don't know which other way to put it. So the Lord put the veil over you guys because a lot of you guys ain't going to make it. All right? So this new covenant is so advanced You can literally see who everybody is. That's why Mr. Smith blinded Neo and he could still see. We're dealing with something higher over here, man. That's why a lot of you guys, you hate it. Hebrews 7:19. For the law made nothing perfect, but the bringing of a better hope did, by which we draw nigh unto God. For the law made nothing perfect. For the law made nothing perfect. That old law is broken, and a lot of you guys are broken. You know what, man? I'm going to get out of here. I had to bring that out. So us few that have been redeemed, real quick, let's go to Revelations, man. The scripture tell you that the 144,000 are the only ones that have been redeemed. That means that they have been bought back, so we actually have liberty. And a lot of you guys are teaching with gall in your mouth, with deception. You guys are wicked, man. It's heavy, bro. It is very heavy, yeah. You guys are of Moses. We get it, man. You don't have nothing to do with the new covenant. All right? The scriptures say there is no fault found with us, because we're able to understand God. So not everybody's going to actually understand God like that. Everybody can't please God, because you're not pleasing God unless you have the doctrine. The doctrine separates you. That's what the scripture mean in 1 John 5. We know that we're of God because the Lord had given us an understanding. So a lot of men are not laboring for the meat that's everlasting life. They're laboring for that old meat that perish. And part of the old meat that perish is that old carnal law. That whole law was carnal. Do we still go back and draw scriptures out of it? Yes, because that is the word of God. But that law in that Old Testament is not to be followed anymore. Now, the only ones that are following that is that you guys that have been broken. You see that? It is heavy. It is heavy. Guys that have been that have not been that the veil is still covering them. They're not a part of the new covenant. It's plain and simple. The large portion of our people, they're of the old, so they have no understanding, bro. So you know what? With that, man, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you brothers on the next one. And the doctrine of the new covenant has nothing to do with the Old Testament. Matter of fact, when you go to, one last thing, let me bring this out, which is important too, which will finish this lesson. The angel in Revelations, they have the testimony of Yahawashi. That is the prophecy in this time. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say too. I wanted to say that the angel in Revelations, he's our fellow servant. Because they have the doctrine of Yahawashi. It's not nothing of Moses. The angels have the testimony of Yahawashi just like we do. So they're our fellow brothers. Revelations 19:10, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant. So they're serving the Lord too. Check this out. And of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahawashi. That have the testimony of Yahawashi. That have the testimony of Yahawashi. Worship God, for the testimony of Yahawashi is the spirit of prophecy. So the testimony of Yahawashi it is the spirit of prophecy. That is the most important prophecy in this time. the testimony of Yahawashi, understanding the Lord. This is the most important prophecy right now. Ain't nothing more important than you breaking down the Lord and his covenant, which don't have shit to do with Moses. You guys have everything to do with Moses, not us. You guys are under that old heavy yoke. That's a heavy burden for you guys too. And you're not going to bring that in the new covenant. That don't have nothing to do with the elect in this last day. The Lord have given us the power to omit that shit. So you don't have that power to omit it. And it's all in your spirit. That old Mosaic law, it governs your spirit. So therefore, you can never be in the spirit of the new covenant. It's heavy. Let's read the testimony real quick. So if you have the true testimony, the angels are really with you. God is really with you. Now that word testimony.
Strong's G 3141. Marturia. Marturia.
So the testifying, it says a testifying office committed to prophets are testifying concerning future events. It says what one testifies testimony for a judge. So you're on the seat testifying Yahawashi, man, and making men understand him. You're a witness to Yahawashi. And the record that the Lord left, you understand that record. And a lot of guys can't because they can't see through the veil. Like the brothers say, we're on the other side of the veil looking at you guys. It says a record, a testimony, a witness. So the major prophecy, the most important prophecy in this time is to testify Yahawashi and understanding him. And let me get out of here, man. I went over there and what I wanted to. But the most important prophecy in this time is understanding the doctrine of Yahawashi. So by you understanding the doctrine, the most important prophecy is you teaching the Lord. That's the most important prophecy, the testimony. And not everybody has it. The camps don't have the true testimony of the new covenant. And these fucking reprobates that have crept into the new covenant, they never had the true testimony of understanding God. They can understand Moses, though. Hey, with that, man, repent to the new covenant. Leave that old covenant out of it. You cannot serve two masters. If you're serving Moses, Yahawashi has been of no effect unto you. And you show it in your doctrine. Repent to the new covenant. With that, hey, shalom.
I love this beat, Baki.